أغلبنا لا يعرف بأن صعود النازية بين الحرب العالمية الأولى والثانية هو كان بدعم أمريكي. الكل يتساءل طيب كيف كان هناك انهيار ألماني وقيود أوروبية، كيف سمحوا للنازية بالصعود وتأسيس جيش؟ بالدعم الأمريكي، بالأموال الأمريكية، بالقروض، بالاستثمارات. 6 ملايين، لا يوجد أي دليل بأن هناك 6 ملايين يهودي قتلوا، وربما حصلت محارق لا أحد ينفيها، وهناك معسكرات اعتقال صحيح، ولكن الدليل على أن هذا الموضوع مسيس وليس إنساني ولا حقيقي. كيف نتحدث عن 6 ملايين ولا نتحدث عن 26 مليون سوفيتي قتلوا في تلك الحرب؟ يعني 6 ملايين أغلى. الممارسات نفسها كانت على كل الاتجاهات، لم يكن هناك طرق قتل مختصة باليهود ولا طريقة تعذيب مختصة باليهود. في كل الأماكن نفس الطريقة استخدمتها النازية، ولكن القضية هي قضية مسيسة ولتزوير الحقيقة ولاحقا للتمهيد لنقل اليهود من أوروبا باتجاه مناطق أخرى هي فلسطين. اليهود الذين أتوا إلى فلسطين هم يهود الخزر شرق قزوين، هم وثنيون وتبعوا الديانة اليهودية في القرن الثامن الميلادي، هاجروا إلى أوروبا وأتوا إلى هذه المنطقة. لا يوجد أي علاقة بينهم وبين شعب إسرائيل.
Shalom, giving all praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, do well overseeing the tabernacle of David, which are the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. And salutations to you, Achim, upholding the testimony of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. So we see the President of Syria, Bashar al-Assad, speaking in regard of the history, I'll say, and the identity of the small hats, of the individuals who control and operate the so-called Jewish state. And he spoke of their history as being from the Khazarian Empire of the 8th century CE period. And this is true. But the thing about it, their history doesn't start at the Khazarian Empire. They converted to Judaism and during the Khazarian Empire. They're not Israelites, by the way. They're not Jews. And I'm gonna hit you with this because he spoke about them being Khazarians. They're not Turks because the Khazarians considered themselves Turks and they considered themselves a part of the Second Khaganate. But they're not Turks, and they don't have anything to do with the original Khaganate. The same thing that they did today when they call themselves Jews and took somebody's identity is what they did in that time. The original Khaganate were Israelites. And I have pictures to prove it. The original members of the first Turkish Khaganate that ruled over the Eurasian steppe were Israelites. All right? And hopefully, Lord will not put a picture, an image to show. Now, if you just look up the first Khaganate, you're not going to see these images. You're not going to see these pictures. It's through the Spirit that the Lord even showed me certain these images. Because it was indirect research, you know, and it popped up. If you just do direct research and you type this up, it won't come up. But hopefully, Lord will not put in an image or a few images of depictions of those of the first Khaganate. All right. But point being, these guys were descendants of Romans during the time of the different campaigns that brought them over to Azerbaijan, descendants of Greeks from Alexander's campaign and those children of those soldiers. That's who they are. And descendants of, like I said, Romans that also came and migrated after the fall of the 12 Caesars. That's who these guys are. They're not Turks. And now, who are the Romans? Let's take it a step further. All right, who are the Romans? Now, I'm gonna start with Genesis, the 4th chapter, because what you have to understand is the so-called white man and the small hats, they are the devil that the Bible speaks of. They've taken many different forms, and they've called themselves different names to hide their identity, but they're the actual devil that the Bible speaks of. And I'm not speaking of Greek mythology. You need to start looking up words. The term devil comes from the Latin and Greek diabolos, all right, which means deceiver. And he's the deceiver of the earth. He's deceived everybody to thinking that he's the Israelites when he's not an Israelite. He doesn't even call himself an Israelite. He says he's a Jew, but he's not a Jew. He says he's a Turk, but he's not a Turk. He says he's all these things when he's none of these things. He calls himself the Son of God. He says he's the Messiah. He's not that. They did the same way during the time of the Hellenistic period in ancient Greece. They did it the same way when the Caesars considered themselves pharaohs and divine. It's the same bullshit that they keep doing. All right, but this is Genesis, the 4th chapter. Now this is before the flood. All right, this is during the time, essentially around the time of Adam. All right, because Cain is a son of Adam. Now, the small hats, they are Cain. They descend from Cain. Now, you have to understand reincarnation, because that seed line was killed after the flood. And I'm gonna get into the scriptures. I just have to be elaborative for you to understand what I'm trying to get to. All right? Because if I just tell you he's Cain, you can be like, well, the seed line of Cain died in the flood. And you're right. But guess what? It's something called reincarnation. You can't destroy spirits. So they come back and regenerate. All right. And they've regenerated as the nation of Edom. But these curses of Cain are still on them. They haven't gone away. All right. The flood didn't wash those curses off. The curses of Cain are still on the people of Cain. All right. Which, by the way, the term Cain, the name Cain means weapon in Hebrew. And the so-called white man was blessed with the sword, according to the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, and the 27th chapter, pardon me. But this is Genesis, the 4th chapter. It says, verse 2, it says, and she, pardon me, let me see. Yep, this is Genesis, the 4th chapter, and the 12th verse. And this is Yahweh's judgment on Cain after he slayed his brother Abel, which Abel is a representation of Jacob, Israel. But I'm going to go ahead and verse 12. It says, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. And that's what the small hats are. That's why Assad, he said that these guys, they migrated. Well, first of all, they migrated to Khazaria. They're not from Khazaria. He said they migrated to he said they was in Khazaria. Then they converted to Judaism. They were pagans, and that's what they are. And then he said then they migrated to Europe, and then they came and they migrated to the Palestine. And that's because they're a fugitive and a vagabond, because nobody wants them. Nobody wanted them in the Caucasus when they was in the when they were the Khazarians. They hated them because the Khazarians were filthy people. All right, and they were thieves. All right, nobody wanted them in Europe because what do? They're nasty, they're degenerate. They take over your banking and your legislative and your political, your entertainment industries. They turn it into filth and they turn it into propaganda. All right, for their means. All right, and they control people by usury. They control they hijack the different industries, financial industries, food industries of your country. That's what these people do. That's why throughout history nobody liked them, because they're parasitic vagabonds. This is not hate. This is what you guys do. You guys hate. Small hats are hate. They hate. They the ones who paid the Arabs to build the slave ships and to put us in slavery. That's hate. That's hate. You know, the small hats are hateful people, and they're vagabonds. All right, and now, at this point, that these nations are, you know, they don't have respect for you right now, man. These nations, that hate for these nations is being shown towards the small hats, and basically the small hats are being exposed, and that's why they're considered a vagabond. They're not safe anywhere. Nobody wants some small hats in their area. Again, this is not hate. This is because you guys are rotten pieces of shit that put us in slavery, and you're terrible human beings. It's not hate. That's just because that's who you are. So let's go to the book of Obadiah. And by the way, let's go to the book of Obadiah, because by the way, the sons of Cain came back as Edomites, the brothers of Jacob. All right, and your own Talmud tells you that you guys are Edomites, you idiots. You read the Talmud tells you that the Romans descend from Esau. But you guys want to act like, you're scholars and you're different encyclopedias. It even says, I believe in the encyclopedia from the late 1800s, it says Edom is modern Jewry. So what are you guys talking about? You guys know, your own scholars know this. You guys are just too stupid or arrogant to receive it. So this is Obadiah, the first chapter, in the first verse. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. So this is concerning the people the so-called Jewish people, man. Because they're Edomites. This is not hate, it's just who you are. You're an Edomite. Stop being I can't tell them stop. I was about to say stop being a vagabond. They're gonna keep being a vagabond. They're not gonna recognize their identity and say, yes, we're Edomites, because they're vagabonds. That's a part of the prophecy. So I can't tell them to stop doing that. It says, we have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and the ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And that's why the Yemenis, that's why the Carmanians, the Iranians, which are the Carmanians. That's why these different militias, Hezbollah, that's why these different nations said, let's rise up against her from around about. They surrounded them small hats, which the small hats are not just the Edomites, because them people up in Turkey are Edomites too. All right. And people in America, of course, the so-called white race, the Europeans are Edomites. Not just because you got white skin. It don't got nothing to do with your skin color, but you guys are Edomites. You know? There's no such thing as an American in the Bible. There's no such thing as a Brit in the Bible. There's no such thing as a Khazar. There's no such thing as a Turk. There's no such thing as a Turk in the Bible. The prophets didn't speak about no damn Turk. It's such thing as an Amalekite, an Edomite, a Philistine, not no damn Palestinian. There's no such thing as a Palestinian. Is a such thing as an Ishmaelite, because you Palestinians are Arabs. You're Ishmaelites. You're not no damn ain't no such thing as Palestinian. It doesn't exist. But you're an Ishmaelite. All right? And then you got Netanyahu calling Hamas fucking Amalek. That's what the devil would do. He would slander his enemy, which Hamas, they don't even know what the fuck Amalek is. You calling them He got away with that shit too. Everybody's just like, ooh, do, 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 do. He literally called them Amalekites, which he's an Amalekite, but he called Hamas Amalekites. And then Hamas dumbass, they don't even know what the Amalekite is. They just said, fuck it, Akbar, nigga, we're gonna kill some small. That's what they said. I'm talking about that's what Hamas said. They don't know what the hell an Amalekite is. It's a lot of confusion on this earth, man. It says, verse 2, it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. And that's what's taking place. You small hats, have you've become small among the heathen, meaning the heathen are looking narrowly upon you. They don't esteem you as being great anymore. You know, they don't esteem you as being omnipotent, omnipowerful. It says, thou art greatly despised, meaning you despised among those heathens. All the heathens hate Jewish people. All the heathens all over the world, in Bangladesh and fucking Russia and all throughout Arabia and Africa, North Africa, South Africa, they all hate the small hats. Everybody hates the small hats. Except maybe, I think everybody hates them. It says, verse 3, it says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. And that's when you guys were in the Caucasus Mountain. That's when you guys dwell in the clefts of the rock. But guess what? That's also talking about, that symbolic language of talking about you guys are in a fortified position in this world. These guys have, they got the Golan Heights. You understand what I'm saying? They have the Davos, Switzerland. They got the fortified Swiss Alps. They got the mountains. They in a fortified position. They got the best of the bunkers in the different mountains of Europe and in America. They dwell in the clefts of the rock. They got the best of the castles, the most prominent positions in society. That's them dwelling in a clefts of the rock represents a fortification. It says, whose habitation is high. Yes, your habitation is high. All these penthouses, these large buildings. Who's at the top level? The penthouse is what the top is the best seat of the best seat in the room, right? And who lives in the penthouses? The Edomites, Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians. The Israelites. We don't live in penthouses. We don't live at the top of these 5-star buildings. The small hats and the Edomites. Which the small hats are Edomites. It says, it says, whose habitation is high, who saith in thy heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? This is what they say. Very hubris. Verse 4, it says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. And what's the symbol for these Edomite nations? The eagle. All right? The eagle is the symbol for you Edomite nations. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get... I'm just interested. I'm interested in... Because Khazarian... I believe the image of Khazaria was an eagle too. Let me see. Okay. The hell? Bro, see, this man is the devil, bro. What the hell is going on? I type in Khazaria. You got a fucking dragon popping up. And see, they got this wolf stuff because they say they Turks. And see, that's what they worship Ashina. They worship the moon god. This is ancient, this is Turkish mythology these guys worship. We know what you guys are doing, man. These guys are pagans. Motherfucking Khazars. All right. But point being, all right, they exalt themselves as the eagle. That's more so going into their drones. All right. Their technology that sits high above, their satellites. And it's also going to their airplane systems. All right. And likewise, you have these, as I said before, these different space stations, things of that nature. America has it. Russia has them. And guess what the symbol of America is? An eagle. Guess what the symbol of Russia is? An eagle. Because why? They're Edomites. All right. Get the symbol of the British Empire, the symbol of Nazi Germany. What is it? It's an eagle. Why? Because they're Edomites. These guys are Edomites. It says, let me see. It says, verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle and set thy nest amongst the stars, talking about their satellites, space stations. It says, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. So the Lord's about to bring you down. Trump just made the sixth branch of the military space station. The Lord about to bring you down. Good job. I'm glad you made it. Now it's time for you to come down. All right. Verse 6, it says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? So, see, it was a hidden thing that Esau did. He called himself a Turk. He called himself Jewish. He called himself an Israelite. Well, he never said he was an Israelite. He says that, well, he's basically saying he's an Israelite by saying he's a Jew. But there's no such thing as a Jew. That's a Babylonian term. It's such thing as a Hebrew Israelite. We're not Jews. That is a Babylonian term. That's not what we called ourselves. This is how you know these people are not us. They calling themselves something that the Babylonians called us. We never called ourselves Jews. We're Israelites. The term Jew comes from the Hebrew word Yahawada, which means Judah, or Yahweh thanks, Yahweh praise. All right. So these guys, that's showing you that's what happens when you come along fucking hundreds of years later, millenniums later, damn near in 800 or 700 to 800 AD, talking about you a Jew converting to Torah. You don't got nothing to do with this, man. That's what happens when you're a Johnny come lately. And so we've searched these things out. We see the man of sin has been revealed. The son of perdition. That's Esau, Edom. That's the small hats. These guys, all right, through the image of the beast, they've pushed this propaganda to make you feel sorry for them. When really they're the scum of the earth. They're the most evil people on the earth. They're the one who put us in cargo slave ships. They're the ones who raped our women and turned our sons into homosexuals. They're the ones who poisoned the earth. They're the ones who putting chemtrails in the air. They're the ones who's pushing GMO foods. They're the ones that's responsible for plastic the size of Texas in the ocean. They're the ones. They're the ones. They're the ones that the reason why every country in the world is in debt. To them, they're into with vast usury, which usury is lawful to other nations as Israelites. But guess what? You guys are not Israelites. You are the Edomites. All right. And that's why Al-Assad said he's sick of that shit. They drone striking him. Them small hats probably gonna take his ass out. They gonna wipe him. They gonna kill him probably. But he's fucking sick of it because they funded the small hats funded ISIS to fucking try to overthrow Al-Assad. Not only the small hats, the Americans did it, the Turks did it. They funded these damn jihadists to try to overthrow Assad. And Assad's pissed the fuck off. He's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm telling y'all wanted to play these fucking games with me? Y'all want to play these fucking games? I'm going to tell you a secret. That's what he did. He told half of the secret, though. He didn't go deep. we been, man, come on. That's talking points that we've been bringing out for, the apostles been bringing that stuff out since the 80s. This guy, he's all of a sudden now Assad, nigga, you been there this whole time. Now you going 2023. Oh, yeah, these guys are Khazarians. Like, we've been saying this since the 80s. These guys are late, man. These guys are late. Late to the party. Late to class. And we'll wrap it up with this one. We're going to go to Ezekiel, the 25th chapter and the 13th verse. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, which Edom is the self-proclaimed white race, the people who call themselves Turks, which not every Turk is an Edomite and not every so-called white person is an Edomite. You got a lot of Turks that are actually Israelites because they descend from that first cognate. But they married on to Edomite concubines, and over thousands of years, you can't even tell how they look. All it takes is 1 or 2 generations where they don't look like their phenotypes are changed. So it doesn't matter about the skin color of somebody or how they look. It matters about the content of what's in their heart and their bloodline. Which, if you're an Israelite, the Spirit bear witness that you are an Israelite. But the majority of those guys, these guys are talking about they Turks. The majority of these guys, especially especially in the the western rim of the Khaganate. Though that's heavily Edomite. You understand? So I'm just putting that out there. You guys, I'm not giving you a pass because a lot of you guys are Edomites, man. But as I said, it's all up to the spirit. You know, you have Israelites scattered throughout all four corners of the earth. Israelites are scattered amongst all nations. Even you got some Israelites that look like small hats, but they think they small hats, but they actually descend from Jacob. But the majority of the small hats are what? Edomites. So it's all by the spirit. And the Lord's going to use a lot of them to confound the nation that they seem to be a part of. Because if they Israelites, the Lord's Spirit still working through them. You know? That's why you see in Great Millstone, you got GMS camps throughout the four corners of the earth. You got us throughout Africa, throughout South America. You have barracks, you have camps throughout Europe. And these men from these camps look like different nations. We don't all look alike. But that's because it's not about the skin color. Again, we're not carnal people like the small hats. You guys are very carnal. You're very carnal. You're not spiritual people. It's not about skin color. It's about the content of a man's heart. That's what these individuals never understand. It says, and will cut off Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it. And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. It's a wrap for you Edomites, man. All right. And this is talking about now. All right. The Lord did these things then, but these things are also going to take place now. Verse 14. Now, I'm going to show you how this is going to take place now. This is verse 14. It says, I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. That never took place. That never took place. And then you could say, oh, well, that took place during the Dark Ages when the Israelites came back in power after the Roman Empire fell. And we ruled for 1,000 years. We ruled the Khaganate. We ruled Byzantium. We ruled the Holy Roman Empire. We ruled the Moorish city-states. We did. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But that's not the vengeance of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, because this is going to be a divine vengeance that's going to come based upon your ethnic genealogy. You Edomites are not going to be able to crawl back up into the crevices when we get power, when Yahushua returns. It says, verse 14, it says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger. We didn't do that during the Dark Ages. We took back power to a certain extent, but we didn't do to Edom according to the Lord's anger. Are you serious? Do you know how angry the Lord is? And you think what happened in the Dark Ages was a good enough punishment for you monkeys? No, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to return and put you into slavery. It says, according to my anger and according to my fury. This is not light fury. You guys thinking this is some light shit. He drowned the whole earth and you playing fucking games with him. Like he's just a dead god, like you're a Cena guy, you're Turkish Cena guy. He's not a dead god, like he's Allah or somebody. No, he's Yahweh. And he's a God. He's one God. It says, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh. You're going to know that vengeance when Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua give us that unction. All right? And that's according to the prophecies. Stop playing games with us. I'm going to wrap it up with 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, and the 8th verse. It says, 7th verse, it says, then answered I and said, what should be the parting asunder of the times? Meaning, when is going to be a changing of Ion, a changing of an age, a changing of a rulership in a realm. It says, oh, when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows? When will the kingdom of heaven come to pass? When will Yahweh Shah, when will we rule the earth? That's the question that's being asked. Verse 8, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Well, you go to Genesis, the 25th chapter, it tells you that Jacob came out second and he was holding the heel of Esau when he came out. Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's what these Edomites don't want. They don't want, but it's the truth. That's according to prophecy. That's why they took this out the Bible. They took the Apocrypha books out the Bible, and it's 1144. All right, that's the spirit. Now, guess what? You guys are going into slavery. And Esau is the end of the world. We're at the end of the world. Who's in rulership right now? The Edomites, the Americans, the Russians, the Turks, the small hats. They rule the earth right now. Jacob don't rule the earth. Jacob is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Do the North American Indians rule the earth? do the North American Indians, do they have jurisdiction over the planet Earth right now? So this prophecy hasn't come to pass yet. And we all know the North American Indians are Israelites. Do we have to talk about the Bat Creek stone? Do we have to talk about the Los Lunas stone? With ancient Paleo Hebrew 10 Commandments engraved in a huge stone that archaeologists can't even pull out the ground. You really want to play these stupid games with us? You guys are done. And you should be scared. And there's nothing that you or your technology can do. No, fuck that. You're going to deal with spiritual powers. That's what you're going to have to fight against. You're going to have to fight against divine intervention. We're not fucking Hamas. We're not no fucking Arabs, and we're not Muslims. We don't fight with guns. We fight with our God. We fight with the God that told us to go around Jericho 7 times, and on that 7th day do it 7 more times, and the walls of the city just fell. That's the type of God we fight with. And we went in and we wiped everything's nose from the left gate to the right gate. And we left not one him that pisseth on the wall. And so you're going to be introduced to the God of terror, the God that has war with Amalek from generation to generation. I'm going to get that. Because the Lord does not like you small hats. You guys are Amalekites. And you Turks, you guys are Amalekites too. A lot of you. Not all of them. Let me see. Yep. This is Exodus, the 17th chapter and the 16th verse. It says, for he said, because Yahweh has sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So you small hats, the Lord has war with you from generation to generation. He's not forgotten about you. He still got your issue. He still got your number. He's still going to come wipe you. And we're going to see if the God of the Red Sea does he still exist? We're going to see. And it's going to be made full display, and you're going to be the platter. And he's going to finish this war. You think that you're going to beat the Lord? He said he had war with you. That's why these guys are trying to exterminate the earth. They're trying to exterminate the Israelites. They're trying to kill us, poison us, put charagmas in our hand. Why? Because they're at war with God. These guys are evil. This is the devil the Bible speaks of. But you're not going to win. You're going to lose. And when you lose, I must remind you, you're going to lose bad. Because sometimes these small hats, they realize they're going to lose, but they think they're going to go out guns blazing in an honorable fashion. Nope, you're going to lose bad. He's going to step on you like a fucking maggot you are. And with that, I say shalom.